Good evening, citizens of Rain. I am in the city of Cisco. I just pulled in the Stripes here. Before the Flying J was built, this place was always packed. But you can see on the car side, there's not that many vehicles. I used to stop here all the time for breakfast when I was driving back and forth to Abilene. So let's go over here and look at the truck side. So here we are on the truck side. You got one fueling. All these bays empty, nobody else fueling. Got a few trucks parked over there. Nothing much going on over here at all, just a lot of emptiness in this part of the parking lot. So there's been a lot of discussion in Ranger over having a second truck stop. So I drove over here on a Friday night just to kind of take a look at what business looked like. So, bear with me, we're going to drive across the bridge and we're going to take a look at Flying J and see how their business looks tonight. And being that I'm in Cisco, let's all pray for the city commissioners and the city of Cisco itself so that they can get to the root of their issues and hopefully solve their financial problems. Let's drive across the bridge here. Sorry, you might get a little wind noise. Been enjoying the night air. So as I'm approaching Flying J, I can certainly see that it's packed. But we'll get up there and get a closer view. So we're going to pull in here at the actual travel station. So as we can see, there are people everywhere at this truck stop. Lots of cars up front in the bays. Lots of cars out here. And we'll swing around and go through the truck side. But as you can see, the four-wheeler side of the truck stop is extremely busy compared to just across the street. Thank you for bearing with me. So while I'm pulling around, I just want to talk about our city's infrastructure. We are currently having issues in trying to resolve several things. One of which is out at our sewer treatment facility. We're trying to get all the pumps up and running. Fairly large expense. As you can see out in the truck parking area, there are a lot of trucks parked out here. This just goes on and on. This place is raking it in. And that's good. That's what they built this for. Literally, the place is packed. All the fuel islands are full. I'll swing back around and get a video of that too. But as I was talking about, we are currently working on our infrastructure, trying to get our sewer plant back up running to capacity. We have a lift station that we're having some issues with. I'm trying to get all that remedied. But there was a study done on the environmental impact for the proposed truck stop in Ranger. Here's the fuel bays. Very busy truck stop. Seems like it robbed Peter to pay Paul when they built the second one, but so are the casualties of business. Competition is good in a lot of situations, and sometimes competition is bad. So it could bring in some good, could bring in some bad. So here we've seen one truck stop choke off another. And I would imagine that the trucks that went and parked across the street probably wanted a quieter location. Now, if you'll continue to bear with me, we're going to drive down the road just a little ways to see the third truck stop that they have in Cisco. And we'll see what that looks like compared to up here. But on that proposed truck stop in Ranger that they're talking about, there was plans to build other things out there, not just a truck stop. They were discussing possibly apartments and a hotel of some kind. I don't really know what kind of hotel they were planning, but it said if they were to complete all their projects, that it would exceed our daily capacities at our treatment plant. Now, what that would mean is our treatment plant would be overflowing. Things could be running downstream. We could have backups in our homes. I'm not trying to create panic here. I'm just talking about the kind of things that can happen in those situations. And some of the ones on the economic board that was for this project, when I raised my questions, they simply said, well, we'll just have to find the money, but go ahead and build the truck stop. So we're going to put the cart before the horse and build this to add to our already struggling infrastructure issues. And I am not against any new business. I'm not. But what I am against is putting the cart before the horse. So if we did all of this and then we ended up with massive sewer issues due to the added capacity, we can't just run out and get a grant instantly. We have to apply for grants. But in this kind of situation, it could actually force us into an emergency situation where we could end up having to pass a bond and ultimately raise everybody's taxes. So we're all just now getting over the sting from the Water District meeting last night after the Public Utilities Commission rate challenge that was filed by the City of Ranger. 3 of the current council members and 2 former council members were a part of that challenge. We got a 17% increase on our water bill. That will be effective January 1, 2025. And we're already struggling in a very tight economy. A lot of people are. So here we are. We're just about to the Road Ranger. My daughter used to work here on the overnights. So I think it's probably got a few more than the stripes down the road. So we'll see. I drove up further first so I could see what was going on there versus down here. So let's see. We have a few cars on the car side. Let's take a look. Let's go in here. Put eyes on this situation. All right, here we go. You gotta be careful. You'll miss this entrance. All right, the car side on a Friday night is not very busy. Of course, people could be off at football games and various things. You can't judge it. Can't judge this book by this cover. Let's just take a look here. Not too busy on this side. Well, we have a few trucks over here. Not too bad. One truck fueling. We have some trucks down here resting. Certainly not packed like the Flying J. Uh-oh, Swift trucks. Better be careful. So all in all, not too bad here tonight. And this is kind of I think this is a busy night for them. My daughter used to work here on the overnight shift, and they would schedule her by herself on the overnight due to small payroll. Now, small payroll doesn't always equate a lack of business. Sometimes small payroll just equates to somebody wanting a bigger bonus. So not too bad. Not too bad at all here. Stripe certainly took the brunt of what's happened here. But I'm going to pull over here and talk for a minute. So there's pros and cons to everything. And we know competition is healthy. Competition changes prices. But truck stops normally dictate the fuel prices in town. And if those of us in Ranger have stopped and bought gas lately locally, we see that price is much higher than what we see out of town. But going back to this whole situation, these people have said that if they don't have a decision from us on the agreement to give them the $600,000 so that they can put in a gravity-fed sewer line by the 28th, they will redesign and they will go with septic. They said the initial cost will be cheaper to them to go septic. Now, they'll have normal cost after that won't be as cheap as being on a city sewer. But if we have infrastructure issues now, and then we turn around and add to that and overload our sewer plant, then we all have a problem. I, as an elected commissioner, do not want to raise property taxes, but if we got in that situation to where we had to do something immediately, there's only one way to do that. You can't just immediately get a grant. So my point is, if this company is willing to go ahead with their operation and put in a septic system, then they should do that. I'm not for giving most of our money away to one company. I understand that money is there to use to attract new business, but this company has already purchased their land. They have already drawn up plans. They've already got agreements with the restaurants that they want to put inside it. So they are a go either way. One way, we spend $600,000 and it takes us 10 plus years to recoup that money. One way, they go with septic. We keep our $600,000 and then we continue to help small business. What we're doing by spending the $600,000 is making a rich man richer. They come to us. We've seen their financials. They claim to be very well off. They have a larger portfolio than the city of Ranger. So, do we want to make rich people richer? I would rather our money be spent helping other businesses, several businesses, not just one. We can't pin all of our hopes and dreams on one business. We certainly cannot build something that we know is going to cause a problem and then just hope it doesn't. You can't do that. We can't do that as your city leaders. We can't do that. We have to think about the contingencies. We have to think about the long term. Now, as I said before, I'm not against new business. What I am against is spending money irresponsibly. And I feel that if we spend the $600,000, that is very irresponsible. We could do so many other things for the smaller businesses. There's a lot of good ideas out there. And I would certainly welcome this business. If they want to go ahead and move forward and put in septic, I would certainly welcome them with open arms. I would probably shop there a little bit. You know, I try to stay local now. Because one of the things we have to remember, we all get mad when we hit that pothole in the streets in town. We all get mad when we got water leaks. But what makes some of us mad is the fact that we know what fixes our roads and our water lines and all of our issues. It's those sales tax dollars that fix a lot of things. So when we travel out of town and we put that money in somebody else's coffers, we fix somebody else's potholes, we fix somebody else's water lines, and in my views, and in no way are a reflection of the company I work for. These are my views and my views only. But I understand how this works. So I have formed my opinion based off of the information that I've been given, based off of what I see when we put too many of the same stores in business. I have seen enough to know what needs to be done. There is a small faction of people, and it varies between 37 and 44. Depends on if you're talking about who voted for me and who voted for Jared Calvert. There's a small faction of people that have gotten together to demonize everything that we do. I have tried to have two EDC meetings in the last 2 weeks, and we tried to call a meeting. Both of those meetings have been shut down. They were shut down because of a power struggle. And I hate to say that, but that's what this is. There's a power struggle going on in the city of Ranger. I am looking at that from a legal standpoint. I am looking at that from an ethical standpoint. There's going to be more to follow on that. I made a little video earlier, but after the advice of my attorney, I removed that video because of some legal aspects that need to be dealt with first. So, please believe that I'm fighting for you, the everyday citizen of Ranger. I'm working hard for you. I have your best interests at heart. Even those that didn't vote for me, I have your best interests at heart as well. You may not think so, but I do. And Mr. Jared Calvert, he also has your best interests at heart. He's been attacked on multiple occasions. I've been attacked. I've been the victim of anonymous letters being sent to my corporate office trying to get me fired. I've been the victim of a sitting EDC member calling for a boycott of the grocery store that I manage. I don't own, I just manage. And something you have to think about there is when somebody has a problem in a situation like that and they want to disrupt you, what they don't realize is in a situation like me where I don't own the store, I'm simply an employee, there are 13 other employees there that you're also affecting. So when you're trying to attack one, you're actually attacking us all, and that's not right. That is ethically not right, morally not right. There's been rumors going around that the company I work for sold. They're saying that the company that bought us had went to City Hall, pulled permits to remodel us. They're saying I was terminated by the new owners. None of that is true. And that is being circulated by a sitting city council member. And he knows who he is. He's been going from business to business in town telling that story. And I addressed this in the council meeting the other night. So all of these rumors, all of these lies, all of these stories being told need to stop. But they won't. They won't stop. I attended the PUC challenge, I attended the Water District meeting last night so they could go over the rate study following the PUC challenge. It was filed by the City of Ranger, 5 commissioners, 2 cents recalled. I knew in my heart that was going to backfire, and it did. We're all going to pay a higher water bill now, effective January 1, like I said earlier. So because of that action, right there, we're going to pay more money. Now, if we proceed to put this new business on our already aging, failing infrastructure, and that results in the same way that everything else has been resulting here lately, that this group has been a part of, that will certainly cost you more money in the long run. It will cost your property taxes to go up because we will have to find the money to build a new plant. That is something that has been in the back of my mind since before I ran for council. I knew that we had a small capacity at this plant. It's something that should have been addressed many years ago for the growth of the town. So just remember, when you hear me, when this goes to a vote and you hear me vote no, I'm voting no on spending the money. I'm not voting no on letting the business come in. I will welcome them with open arms. And it will be right down the road from my house, so I guarantee you I'll shop there. I'm a fast food junkie, so, but I cannot, in good conscience, endorse a payment of $600,000. I keep being told, well, this is an investment in our infrastructure. This is an investment in the future. We'll be able to put more businesses on and people out there can build houses in town. No, we do not have the capacity of the current plant for that to happen. I have asked our new city engineers to do a study of that plant so that we can figure out what our capacity actually is, what the problems are today, tomorrow, next year, and also what it's going to cost us to upgrade it. We have to be proactive, not reactive. And if we build this other facility and we end up with problems, then we're just being reactive. I'm trying to lead our town proactively, not reactively. And I know this video is long, but it had to be. There's a lot of things that needed to be said. I am working hard for the citizens of Ranger. We certainly don't do this for the money. We certainly don't do it for the glory. We're under constant attacks, rumors, innuendos, all of which have been dispelled over and over again. Everything that group is set out to do, the failed water challenge, they've fought the recall, lost it, all the way up to the Texas Supreme Court. We're still in litigation over the airfield. We should have never been in litigation over that. We've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars in legal fees. That just needs to come to a stop. There's things that we need worse than all of that. So I'm going to get off here. I think I've kept y'all long enough. But certainly remember that Charlie Archer is in your corner. Jared Calvert is in your corner. We're going to do what's right for the town. And I certainly appreciate all of the people in Ranger. I appreciate everybody's support at where I work. I only want the best for our town. And when I sit at the table, I represent the best of Ranger. I certainly do. I appreciate your support. Thank y'all. Y'all have a good evening. I'll make sure this video gets posted.